everybody, welcome back to Le Petit Château. As you can see, today is a baking kind of day in the kitchen. I hope you're happy to join me and learn a beautiful recipe that I have had passed down from my beautiful mother and her girlfriends from a very long time ago when we spent some time over in the Cook Islands. My sisters also make this recipe. It's an absolute family favorite and it's one that is so easy, and this is why I want to share it with you today. So if you've got some leftover apples or pears in the fruit bowl, we're going to use those today, or you can get some tinned fruit if that suits you better. Just a little note, it's normally an apple based cake, but I sort of have a couple of apples and a couple of pears that I have available to use, so this is why I mix it up, and we actually prefer this because the pear just brings a beautiful different flavour, like a sweeter sort of note, and we love it. This one is actually a favourite among the boys, I think. My nephew, I know he loves it, my son loves it, my brother-in-law, my husband. It's a very popular one, and it's just, yeah, it's a great one. It's a big size cake too that you can share when you have guests to come over. So Mum, if you're watching, you'll probably notice I have modified the recipe a little bit from what you used to make back in the Cook Islands, but this is just how we've sort of kept going with it. I hope you don't mind. So no fancy mixes necessary for this one. You can just use a bowl and a spatula or a spoon, a wooden spoon or something like that, and you're ready to go. So let's get to it. So first of all, you're going to want to grease and line your tin. I've got a 9-inch tin today, and preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. What to do is actually prepare your fruit. So make sure it's washed and cleaned, and go ahead and peel, core, and chop your apples or pears. This is probably actually the hardest part of doing this cake, but otherwise it's super simple and super quick to prepare. When you're preparing the fruit, try and cut it so they're almost like even sort of slices, just so it cooks a bit more evenly when we put it in the oven. So just an example with the apple, you can see it's sort of sliced up into even sort of slices, and we'll do that with the pear as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so all done, guys. We've got our apple and pear beautifully chopped up. Let's go to our next step. So our next step is to go and melt the butter. You can do this in the microwave, or if you don't have a microwave, you can use the saucepan. I'm just going to pop mine in the microwave, and we'll just let that cool a little bit. So in our large bowl, we're going to start with passing our self-raising flour through the sieve. Just do that now. Just pass that through, give it a sift into the bowl. All done. Secondly, you're going to add your sugar. Sometimes I've actually mixed up the sugar and used a little bit of brown sugar as well, which gives it a more caramel-like texture. So if you want to do that, you can do that too, but today I'll stick with the base recipe. Next, we've got our combination of spices. I will put the amounts in the description below. It's about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, I think 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and half a teaspoon of mixed spice. And this is the secret to this deliciousness. So just pop that in and just stir that around just to incorporate them a little bit more evenly. Okay, so I've got our butter that has cooled. You don't want it to be too hot because it will end up cooking the eggs, and you don't want that in your cake batter. So what we're going to do is pour the butter directly into our flour and sugar mix and spice mix here, and add the rest of the wet ingredients, and then we're just going to blend it all together, just sort of fold everything together. So let's start with the butter. Just like so. Our eggs, there's 2 eggs, and 2. I've also got some milk. This just makes it a bit more cake-like, otherwise it's quite a dense torte-like cake, and we like it like this. So this is just about a tablespoon of milk. Pour that in. And just a dash of vanilla. That's up to you if you want to add that. So just a dash of vanilla. That's it. It's probably a bit more than a dash, but that's okay. And just go ahead and mix it up, sort of, yeah, just make sure you incorporate all those ingredients. What we're going to do is fold all our pieces of fruit in. You'll just love how rich this is with the fruit. It's just beautiful. Like, it's got quite a bit of fruit to batter. The ratio is, yeah, it's gorgeous. So now that you've got that beautifully incorporated, we can go ahead and pop it into our tin. Okay, so we've got our cake batter in our tin, and we're going to pop it in the oven for 1 hour. So 180 degrees for 1 hour. Let's do it. So I know it's not a French recipe today, but we can still learn the fruit in French. So in French, you probably remember from the French apple cake that I did, our little apple is called a pomme in French, and pears, a pear is a poire. So while our little, actually it's not little, our large apple and pear cake is cooking, let's shout out a huge merci beaucoup to my mum and her beautiful girlfriends in the Cook Islands for sharing this lovely recipe. I may have modified it a little bit, but the history behind this recipe is that it's a family recipe, and we've cooked it for a very long time, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with you today. And ladies, I hope you're watching. You'll remember it, and anyone who visits my mum's house will also be very familiar with it. So yeah, enjoy. Thanks, Mum. Okay, so our cake is ready. Let's get it out of the oven. Beautiful. Yay. So as you can see today, we have another beautiful little rustic beauty. It's a little coloured on the top, but that's okay. It's still going to be perfect. Parfait. So here we have our beautiful cake. It looks way too good to wait for dessert tonight. So I'm gonna have it this afternoon just to show you. It's a beautiful dense cake full of fruit in a caramel-like, almost beautifully spiced batter. So I've got it here. You can see it's full of fruit. We've got a bit of whipped cream too, just to make it that extra bit special. Delicious. Absolutely love this one. It's such a classic for us. And yeah, I think you're gonna like the crispy sort of top and the really dense batter. It's just gorgeous. I love it with the pear too. So let me know what you think. I'd love it if you leave a comment. That would be fantastic. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and like, share and subscribe. I would absolutely love that. So thank you again for joining me today and learning this beautiful recipe that we've had in our family for quite some time now. I hope you really love it, and I look forward to sharing some beautiful recipes with you guys again. And yeah, let me know what you think. All right, for now I'm just gonna continue to eat this beautiful cake and have my coffee, and I'll just say au revoir, à bientôt, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye. What can I say? Parfait, or merveilleux, which is wonderful. So yeah.